So usually the first time that you've announced that you ever launch, that's when you want to do a press release. If you have a collab with someone or a big household name, do a press release. So only do it if it's a time sensitive announcement that is pretty major. You don't want to be doing press releases like every week. I would say there's no better time right now to get featured, especially as a product, because what we're seeing is a lot of those like longer form, like founders features is getting less and less. But those shopping roundups, those product placements, consumer lists, like those will always be churned out every single year on Evergreen. And so I always say, like, it doesn't matter how early you are as a founder, you should put your name in the hat. There's at least 1 or 10 gift guides and shopping roundups you should get featured in. And there's no better marketing activity because you don't own your social media. It can get hacked, banned, restricted, right? Ads you have to keep paying for. PR, organic PR, not the scammy DMs that you get for some random thing. I mean, like organic PR gives you backlinks, it gives you SEO, gives you that traffic, sales, and credibility. So it's the one thing that can check all of those boxes all at once. Yeah, so there are a few editors, but the stories are still being churned out, right? Our attention span, less and less and less. So it just means that the content frequency has been dialed up. So it doesn't mean that there's necessarily like less room to play. It's just maybe fewer writers churning out more content. And the good thing about that is that if you are an independent brand, if you do meet a journalist, they probably happen to freelance for many different outlets. That's a good thing because it means, now you can get on different things. So here's a funny story. I've actually never worked a day in my life at any PR or marketing agency. I was the outsider. I was literally Googling newsroom, New York Times operator, and I had to pick up the phone and started cold calling, cold pitching with zero connections. And just from being rejected thousands of times, I started to pick up on a pattern on when somebody would say, oh, tell me more, right? And I put it into my CPR framework, which is proprietary, and I teach it to founders all around the world. And it's the anatomy of the pitch. But let's zoom out a little bit. As founders, we know how to market our brand. We know the benefits and features, but the journalist is not going to buy from you. So we need to not talk to the journalist like they're our customer. Do you know what I mean? So instead of pitching benefits and features, we need to just like position it a little bit differently. And what I mean by this is you need to position it in terms of the relevance, the season, the trend. If you're in beauty, you're not going to pitch something really heavy and oily in the summertime, right? Is there some TikTok trend about gua sha tools or whatever that you want to be able to ride the waves of that? And that's always changing.
What would you say are some of the, if you had like your top 3 tips for getting into, a gift guide, a listicle, what would those 3 tips be?
Yeah, I would say there's so many like opportunities again for listicle because as we gear up for the holiday gift guide season, and by the way, getting into a gift guide is not just Q4. I mean, it is all year round. Yeah. It's self-care, it's Valentine's Day, it's hot sauce days. So like, don't think about just for it. But even for just Q4, like one publication might publish like 30 different gift guides, and on each one, they might feature 20 different products. So just do the math, right? There are so many opportunities for gift guide, and they just keep churning them out because it's just like good and it's a win-win. So, I mean, the top 3 is 1, like know when to pitch. So if you're doing print, I mean, like supermarket, like you're opening a magazine, that's usually 6 months out because it takes time. But for a lot of my people, they want to be in a digital one. So then there's an SEO backlink, right? And those could even be 4 to 6 weeks before the major holiday. So if you're pitching for something for Halloween, you want to start, working on it like end of August, beginning of September. If it's Q4, like around Christmas time, I would say like October is a beautiful time to start pitching. Well, obviously you need to have some kind of online presence, right? I don't think that Instagram really matters as much. I've actually asked all of our journalists and they say it's not a popularity contest. They don't care how many followers you have. They know it can be bought and it's fake. But I think you really need to invest in good packaging and also good product photos, because if you're going to be in a gift guide roundup, they want to know, is this going to look great? Can I put this on a Pop Sugar or Refinery 29? Is it going to be visually appealing? So I think those visuals are really important. You don't need to have a crazy website with all sorts of capabilities, but you do need to invest in good photos and packaging. So I think that's like the first thing. And the second thing is like, know your brand story, right? And that's why people will work with you as well. It's like, what is your differentiator? And once you know that, the rest of your marketing becomes so much easier. And then you can also put it in your PR pitch. And I think a lot of times, a lot of reasons why products don't get featured is because they're not talking specific enough about why they're different. And so the journalist is a little bit confused and like, well, why should I feature you over like a big box brand? And so that usually happens because the founder hasn't really done the work to peel the layer of an onion to like really get into like the specifics, because they want to sell to everyone. They want to be a McDonald's. But I always tell my students, like, you're not a McDonald's. You have a very specific point of view and you need to show that even in your marketing, sales, and also in your PR pitching.